Daenerys then summons the Sandi to the meeting room before getting ready for that evening's meal at the grand banquet hall. Yes, my queen. Hi, Miss Sandi. I wanted to talk to you about something. All right. Um, how can I help you? Well, I gave William a new hairstyle. You did. And he was okay with it. Yes, seems to be impressed with the way I braided his hair. As I was doing so, I kind of had a fond memory. I see. She goes into this other part where there's like a lounge chair, taking Masani by both hands and kind of looking to her left and thinks about it for a moment. I felt kind of guilty because some memories before I came across you and the Unsullied Warriors were freed of a time that I had with Drogon, my first husband, who was a Dothraki king. I see. Would you care to sit? Very well, my queen. So she takes us a seat, and Masandi, though, sits down a bit and listens intently. As I was braiding his hair, I don't know why I thought of this, but I remember a fond memory because of what I'm doing with William's hair that made me think of him. You do miss him, don't you? Yes, we were quite the couple, and I was to have an heir to the Iron Throne of Swords for the realm of the kingdom, who would have been both Targaryen and Dothraki. He would have still had his title as King of the Dothraki Sea, and I would have been, at that time, had all gone well, before the sorceress did her treacherous way in deceiving me in healing his wound because another Dothraki had challenged his authority, and I would have been on the Iron Throne then with our firstborn. And is there a reason why you might have, other than braiding the hair, thought of him? No, I'm just wondering, do you think that this is something that might cause a problem for me and William because I have those fond memories? Well, my queen, you should never be alone. And though you have had relations with Daario, only because you were lonely, as any woman would probably do the same if they were lonely, you should be happy. Or at least I would hope you are. I am. I can't explain it. William does strange things, but to the point that I find them very fascinating and very much stimulating. He was showing me another loving technique. Oh, really? And what technique was that? He was kissing me on my neck in such a way that I've never been kissed before. Of course, I had to stop because I told him something else might come up. Oh, you know what I mean? Yes, it's pulling 2 stones that he calls a penis. We both laughed about this. And I didn't want him to have issues, and then we end up doing something during the day, because then people might be wondering about us, and we're not even united yet, even though he is my chosen suitor and mate. Yes, well, I can see it was probably good judgment for you to stop yourself and him. Yes, he accepted this. And prior to that, he also did a technique that greatly stimulated me, Miss Zombie. We were getting dressed earlier this morning, and while not fully clothed, he puts his arm around my waist and moved his tongue in such ways that no man of the world here that we know of would have done such a thing. Oh, really? William's done something to surprise you. Yes, once again, he knows how to use his tongue more than words of wisdom. Are you serious? Yes, he can move his tongue in such a way that he can go deep within and give me many pleasures. I don't know why I speak of this, but perhaps it's because when I reflected back on a time with Drogon, although Drogon would have never done such a thing, it seems as if my life has taken another change for the better, that I see where as if nothing can go wrong. Am I not thinking to the point of accepting this as something that should happen or not reality? No, it is good for you to feel such an experience. A woman should always feel new pleasures and stimulations. And the fact that this mere human, though low in stature in his human frailties, is able to give you this, you should feel to be the most fortunate woman of our world. I do. Well, I just wanted to find out because I would have never thought that this thought of my first husband, Drogon, would have came to my mind as I'm braiding his hair. Perhaps one day I will explain this to William, although I did tell him that the hair braiding wasn't the first time that it was from my first husband, a Dothraki king. He didn't seem to mind and is okay with this. Well, that is just something I wanted to find out from you and get your thoughts. Well, anytime you need any opinions on any matters, even if they're personal, I am always here for you to confide in. That is why I'm so happy, Miss Sandy, that again I had chosen you, because there are certain things that only a woman can discuss with another woman, unlike with an advisor who is a man. Yes, that is true. And yeah, I do appreciate you being patient with me, even if some might be silly. Not at all, Daenerys. What a woman experiences as she gets older each year should be something to be well cherished. Yes, and you have spoken well. Well, Miss Sandy, shall we go to the that is the banquet hall? Yes, Daenerys. And so with that, they leave the meeting room and head to the banquet hall for that evening's meal. Okay, you are finished. Would you like to see what you look like? Sure. So Williams handed a mirror. Wow, I look so different. Well, you look at least like one of us now. You should blend in quite well. Unless, of course, somebody should say something about you being a human. Well, I'm sure word's going to get around eventually somehow, because obviously my accent and the fact that I'm a little bit shorter than the average height of 6 foot, like that of our Queen Daenerys, is going to stick out. Well, of course, Tyrion's shorter than me, but yes. Well, guess you can go show the Queen now, see what she thinks. Very well. Well, thank you for the hairstyle. So he hands him back the mirror, and then they head off. He heads off to the banquet hall. Once in the banquet hall, he sees Daenerys sitting at the head table, and she motions for him to come over. Gee, wow, you look good. You like it then? Yes. This was much better, so I don't have to keep brushing the hair out of your face. So he takes his seat, and she then stands and has a cloak that she had brought earlier, and then turns to William. Would you please stand, William? So he does. She puts his cloak around him, along with the seal that I put around your neck, which is in the form of a necklace, so that women know that you are taken and not theirs. This here cloak shall be like an emblem that you are a citizen of my country, and that way they should hopefully treat you with some respect. So she puts it around him and has it fastened to his outfit that he's wearing. And then she asks, "How do you like it?" I do like it a lot. And it's got your colors. Yes, well, when the time comes, perhaps there may be another cloak, but it will be of the reverse, much like my banner. But that's when if I think you're ready. All right. Well, I do thank you for this. You're welcome, William. And then she announces to everybody, "Don't sit just yet." Oh, okay. So you remain standing. As everyone knows, William had done something of a wise decision. He wanted to know if there was anything he needed to do so he could look dignified when we were about to enact his custom along with mine of our world, um, as we exchange vows. So he learned he has to do swordsmanship skills because his world being somewhat, as he said, more advanced, they don't use swords like they used to, I guess, long ago in his world, as we still currently do. This seal, of course, and she refers to what's around his neck, is a sign to let everyone know, without my actually having to say a brand new word, no woman of the world shall lay hands on him or claim him, or try to make moves on him to claim him, because as in the custom of my world, my Valerian faith, I have already claimed him, and he is mine. And so anyone violating this seal, well, particularly another female, will have to deal with me. So, with the seal being shown, it should pretty much get the word across that it's hands off. And William, would you also turn around? So he does. And this is the hairstyle I gave him. So you should blend in quite well. Yes, it will be obvious because he's shorter than me, as I am a bit taller than him, that he is not of our world, but perhaps no one will notice too much. The only one shorter than him is Tyrion Lannister of King's Landing. So, it should be quite the scene for him to go with Tyrion, to be put up for the time being, until such time that the vows are to be done. Or at least until his swordsmanship, anyway, is complete. He will then return here, and then we will have another special event planned for him. You may be seated, William. All right. Thank you, Daenerys, because I'm feeling a little bit modest. And of course, his modesty hasn't changed much, but I hope we'll get that worked out of him eventually. That will probably take time. So, anyway, now you see how William is now, as opposed to when he first came to us. And tomorrow he should be ready to depart for King's Landing to get measured for whatever a proper dress attire for the time when we do our vows, and also for practicing and learning the swordsmanship skills. So everybody applauds as she has finished announcing this, and she takes her seat, and then they commence eating for the evening. After the dinner banquet was done for the day, she and William turn in for the evening, and she then drops her clothes. Wow, I'm still amazed by how you find this so stimulating. But I was wondering if tonight maybe you might just hold me. Well, of course, I will do anything you ask. Yes, I know. And I find this very attractive as well. Not that you instigated anything beforehand, because I know that I'm stronger than you, and you seem to delight in the fact that I can always pin you down and command anything, even in my chambers or my bed. Yes, well, I do love those commands. Yes, I'm sure you do. She said with a big smile, rolling her eyes a bit. But I do like this as well, and I hope you don't mind, but I do enjoy the warmth of your body next to mine. Well, I like the coolness of yours next to mine. And it's probably because as a human I have a higher temperature. Yes, that could be true. So she then goes into the bed with him, and they play with each other for a while, and then finally go to sleep. William rolls over in his sleep and notices that the bed's empty. He seems kind of startled by this and wakes up. As he looks over, he sees Daenerys sitting over in a chair, not too far off from where she had watched him breathe before, though he was not aware of it. He gets up, and though she is sitting in the nude, he approaches her in the same like manner because she enjoyed the warmth of his that his body provides for her. Daenerys, are you okay? Yes, I couldn't sleep. There's something wrong. I'm just kind of concerned, William. I'm thinking that if I marry you, I may end up losing the throne. Really? I thought that you had adopted my heraldry because my heraldry doesn't allow me to have this Iron Throne of Swords, whatever it is, because I have not seen it, for the realm of the kingdoms. It's not you, William. Yes, I did adopt your heraldry. Well, um, he kind of thinks for a moment. Is it someone who has maybe done something treacherous or not spoken appropriately to you? Perhaps a knight, and this took her by surprise, and she looks up. Um, well, there's something I need to tell you. All right, I'm listening. When you are not here in our world, there's times being a queen, one can be lonely. I tried to humiliate him at first because he kept bearing me flowers and gifts, and I kept trying to tell him that while men may choose those that they wish to mate with of their world, as queen I choose. But there was a time where, because of my loneliness, I, like you, had found his status very attractive. And so I decided to give him something which would have been of honor for him, and at the same time to stimulate me. And so we shared feelings quite often. I see. Well, continue unless you don't feel comfortable talking about this. No, I had gotten advice from one who is a priest of my faith, of the gods of fire and ice, and he said I should be open and honest with you, and this is what I must do. Very well then. Anyway, as the visionary, had the vision of your coming to this world, had told me that when one such as myself as a queen can admit their mistakes, they truly are a queen. I look back on many things and I come to realize I have made many mistakes. So therefore now I am truly a queen because I can freely admit to this. And he is not happy because while he does not have landed titles either, he does not have that which you have, even though yours is less than half of that of a duke to qualify to be my suitor. And unfortunately, he does not feel that you, a human, low in stature and with your frailties, should be, in a historical moment, mated to me as my suitor, and that unless I change my mind and resume that which we had shared, that it would give him some cause to take this throne from me as much as I had lost the throne prior to your coming, after having it for 3 days when I was about to marry Jon Snow. I see. And so this now makes you very worried about this. Yes, because if I lose this throne, I could never get the other anyway, which is something that I greatly desire because it is of the House of Targaryen that I should have that throne because it is my rightful claim and inheritance, though others may have claim to it. Alright. Well, Daenerys, can I be open and honest with you? Yes. He kneels down in a way that greatly seems to turn her on and stimulate her. He puts his hand above her legs, almost on her inner thighs, and she has a big smile about this. And he lifts her chin up so that she's looking straight at him. Have I ever lied to you about anything? And he looks deeply into her eyes. No. They say in my world that one's eyes are like the windows to one's soul. Though I am only a human, I would only ask that you look deep into my eyes. If you could see my soul, have I ever tried to do trickery or deception? And though I don't know anything about sorcery, have I ever tried to do such a thing? No, William, you have not. Well then, why would you have to worry about losing your throne? Perhaps, if you would permit it, I could talk to him. Because what he's doing is considered the same that you would not tolerate from me, is it not? That is true. Well, it's also true, wouldn't it, then, Daenerys, that I cannot be jealous of what happened in the past because I was not of your world. And therefore you would not be able to have me as a suitor to mate with me. Is that not true? Yes, you have spoken well. Well then, I too must confess that when I was in my world of Earth, I too had done some things, not voluntarily, but with women who had lied to me. And though it could have cost me my life a couple of times, I learned from my mistakes. And it is when one learns from their mistakes that they draw strength from it, never ever to repeat them again. And so therefore I know you would never get jealous of my past. And therefore I'm not jealous of your past. If I was here in your world, and as we would say in my world, in your shoes, as a, well, maybe not a queen, no, and you're not built right either. Yes, I would probably look kind of strange having breasts and a beard. You can't find this humor. But please continue, William. You and your strange humor does kind of find ways of stimulating me every time you seem to speak. Please continue. Well, in my world, of the time period that you're going through now, though we are more advanced, kings and queens learn of their mistakes, never ever to repeat them again. And if it's not considered improper, I would tell you the same as I had learned in my world, to draw strength from the mistakes you've made, so this way you would never ever make them again. And therefore you will be a great queen. Liam, thank you so much for having so much faith in me. I do like this about you, Liam. You are so open and honest. And I will permit you this, that you should speak to him. And should you decide that you wish to take up the challenge, because he is doing this to me, though he accuses me of being the one who acted treacherously to him, casting him aside like a bone to a dog, because he does not have that which qualifies him to be my suitor. If you feel it is a must, then I will allow you to challenge him to defend not only your honor, but his mine as well. Daenerys, I would hope that you would understand that while I accept this, and I would accept that as being my right, because no man should have to tempt the one that I'm with. I believe that to take his life would be another form of jealousy. And again, in your custom, as if I have understood it, and though I have not had many lessons, then you could not still have me as one sitting at the right hand following in your stead by the heraldry you adopted. Is that not correct? Yes. She seems well pleased because he's speaking words of wisdom. So instead of taking his life, I shall give him his life. And perhaps, as it was a custom in my world, when one does not seem to take no for an answer, while he may still serve you unless he has some importance that you must have him here in this palace, he can easily be reassigned elsewhere, where his services can continue to serve you, but never to enter this palace again, so that he can never disturb you and put you in such distress. Yes, I think that it would probably work well. Well then, this knight, does he have a name? Yes, he is known as Daario. I see. I take it he's going to be a bit taller than me. Yes, she kind of says with a slight smile. He's taller than me, and therefore, you being shorter than me, he would definitely be taller than you, because people of our world, the men anyway, are taller than me. The only ones that come between the men of my world and me is the Unsullied Warriors, and height, and the shortest, of course, you've already met, Tyrion Lannister. I understand. Well, I shall speak with him, and he and I shall come to a reckoning. And, unless you command otherwise, I shall speak plainly, which he may not like. But, if I remember correctly, isn't the myth or legend from what the visionary told me is that as the male dragon, then I should also, if necessary, lay my life down before you to defend you, though you be the symbolical stronger dragon of your world. Yes, that is true. So I would hope that such a thing wouldn't happen, because I have not yet had the chance to make my vows with you. But I cannot allow him to put you in much distress, and as you said, it is my right to defend your honor. This, I believe, will be the best course of action, to do so. Very well then, William. So what must we do? We shall get rest, call upon him immediately, and then when all is said and done and finished, then we can return and take a little bit more slumber before you have to get up and I have to take off. Very well then. So with that, she and William get dressed and get ready to go to the throne room. Daenerys then summoned Missandei and apologized for it being so early in the morning, but that it was of grave importance and something that she is allowing her soon-to-be suitor husband, mate, William, to do, because it would be his right for the one that she had relations with before, for challenging his right to be her mate, because she has already chosen William and has no interest in Daario. Missandei agrees to this, and so they stand and wait for Daario, who is summoned of a grave urgency, to appear in the throne room. Grey Worm, who happens to be standing by, hands William something that looks like a sickle sword, but is, because of his wrists not being strong, somewhat heavy. Wow. He kind of laughs a bit. Not that I find this humorous, Daenerys, but this weapon is a bit heavy. Let's hope that I don't have to use it, because being man enough of my world, I would say he'd have the best of me, because I have not yet learned my swordsmanship skills. Yes, well, maybe merely seeing you holding it perhaps will be enough to say much without saying anything at all. I do like your wisdom, Daenerys. She has a smile about her. William. Yes, I know, I gotta be professional while standing up here beside you. So he also stands and waits. Daario finally makes his appearance. Yes, my queen, he bowed before her. I have given, as you had said, with your ultimatum, much thought, and I have explained everything to William, and he has come to terms and accepted this. I see. Well then, William, I guess your services won't be needed then, will they? Actually, you might want to hold that thought. He looks back at Deanerys. Yes, being that I am the Queen of Marine, and I have told you before, I have no interest in you because you have no land and title, and I doubt you would ever get such a title to be qualified to be my suitor. Such treachery that I should lose the throne unless I choose you and resume our relations will not be tolerated. Therefore, as Queen, I have made my decision that he can and will, by my decree, defend his own honor and mine, and champion me, because of the manner in which you have come before me in the meeting room earlier is not acceptable, and I have not acted treacherously to you. I will confess, yes, I have made many mistakes, and William has spoken words of wisdom to me prior to my summoning you, and like the visionary, who spoke of William's coming to end to our world, though he was a myth and a legend then, by admitting my mistakes, I'm becoming a much wiser queen. Mistakes that I shall never ever repeat again. Nor do I need to. I have William. He has me. And there's nothing more to discuss. Therefore, I am granting William to have a few words with you, and I will accept any decision he decides. She looks at William. William steps forward, kind of pacing back and forth a little bit. I don't know you, and you don't know me. And granted, while you may think you have the upper hand, because you are taller than me, and I am only one of a kind from my world, the dark blue star that shines in the blaring night sky, Daario, since I have learned this is your name. I am Dragonsphere, and I will defend our queen, even if it means laying down my very life unto death. Now, I am a human. I may be naive. I may do dumb things. I may do strange things that are not accustomed to your world, but I am slowly learning to adapt to that which Deanerys will command me to do. And I will follow any order that she gives me, though I only be human and not of her world. But she has approved of me with permission to live in her world, and I've already given her my allegiance, that I shall defend and champion her when the time is right. So from this night forth, any man who tries to sway or tempt the one who has chosen me, because as I understand the symbolism is everything in your world, therefore I am the symbolical male dragon, Dragonsphere, and the stronger symbolical dragon, known as Mother Dragons, has chosen me. Now, I understand some of your history, and I have spoken, as you said, some words of wisdom, though I didn't catch this myself as it being words of wisdom, but this is how she sees it. I was not here at the time. I was in my world, and I cannot go back to my world. I cannot be jealous of the past, or I too would not qualify to be eventually sitting at the right hand, falling in her stead. She has already adopted my heraldry, because my heraldry of my world does not allow me to have a throne. Therefore, she still gets what is rightfully hers, with the rightful inheritance of having the Iron Throne sword of the realm of kingdom, for which I have never seen, but only heard about. You may come to find that I am not like any man of this world, and though I be low in stature and with what you consider human frailties, big things do come in small packages. She kind of raised an eyebrow because there's that strange comment again since the time she put him through the first of 3 tests. In other words, what this means is, though you be taller, I could move in such ways that you might come to find that it might be your undoing. And while you might successfully take my life, I will certainly be taking yours with me. So what will you have gained if we both should die. Obviously, you will gain nothing. She will have a broken heart because I also will be dead. But that is the way of it. Now, I will simply state that while I was gone, because I did not know I was going to be coming here, it was something that happened that I had no control of. I do thank you for giving Queen your services, which now are no longer needed. And she seems kind of surprised at William thanking him for having much love and sex with her. This is quite amusing to her. So I am not going to act in jealousy, but say thank you for keeping her warm in her bed at night and giving her such comforts. But now that is going to be my job, so long as she permits it. And you will no longer disrespect her. Why is it that I, a human, though I was only merely a word that you would use in conversation that a myth and a legend of your world, can show her respect and not be of her world, and you cannot? I would follow any command she gives me, because that is the way of respect. And if you can't respect her, then I see there is a major problem here. But nevertheless, whatever she commands, I will follow, whether it be in her chambers or on the battlefield. So, this is the way I see it. You will never ever approach her in a disrespectful manner again. Are we clear? Because if you do, I will be the one that champions her in defending my honor. And that goes for any man, not just you. Every name in history's books from the heart I came here, and every piece of parchment paper will be burned, and you will never have looked as if you existed, ever. Now, unless you want to be known as never having been born, because no record of you would have be allowed in any history book, and it would be destroyed forever. I think you should retrace your steps and think before you speak, because even I am not off the hook. Just because I would be allowed to sit at her right hand and fall on her stead does not mean that I would get away with anything, because I believe, if I understood correctly, she can't show favoritism, so even I have to obey the laws that she enforces. So, and as long as I have agreed to this, this is also something that she has accepted, because I will be obedient of her commands, regardless of the status I hold, which will, of course, will be to be her husband sitting at the right hand falling in her stead. So, I think that while you will continue to serve a queen, unless you wish to discontinue service and go serve someone else in another city, preferably not an enemy, because that would probably not be wise either, you should be reassigned. Perhaps one day you may come to appreciate that you'll find somebody else, because once married to her, you do not mess with another man's wife, even if she happens to be the one who can't show favoritism, and as the husband has to obey her, being the supreme queen. So unless I have spoken inappropriately, he points in a respectful manner with this hand open towards Deanerys, who looks at him with a big smile for being so bold and championing her position, then she can command me or correct me if I have spoken unwisely. She doesn't say anything, so she's pleased with the words he's spoken. Well, then I see that she has nothing to say, which means I have not spoken inappropriately. And that is my opinion. But again, I follow in the right hand, following in her stead. Therefore, it is not my decision to reassign you. That is hers. But this is my opinion, and I will defend her and my honor. And that is all I have to say about that. She then stands. You have spoken well, William, and I do not see anything that has been spoken out of place. Daario, you have heard him spoken, and I condone his actions and the words he speaks, and I will grant him anything that he feels to be a threat or a challenge to him, because I will be the one who shall have him as my husband and my mate, and you will never come before me again. And I approve of his idea, and you shall be reassigned unless you wish to go serve someone else. Is this what you want? No, my queen. Very well then. As of tomorrow, well, in this case, when the sun rises, you will report for reassignment to the lord that you're under now, and they shall reassign you elsewhere in Marine. You are dismissed. And so with that, he walks out so solemnly after bowing with his head down, and the other knights that followed him in such a threatening manner followed after him. Well, Liam, you did very well. I am very impressed. Here, Grey Worm, that's a little heavy on the wrist. You sure you are able to defend Queen, and you can't hold our sword? Wow, I have to take swordsmanship skill. At least I'm being mad enough to admit it. I see. Well, you have much to learn. Well, I won't argue with that, Grey Worm. I'm only human. And he kind of pats my Grey Worm on the back again. Oh, right. I forgot you. Again, I had too much sugar, and he kind of straight face shakes his head, walks out with the weapon. And you still haven't lost your sense of human humor. Grey Worm is still trying to get used to you and your strange ways and customs, William. Especially with patting him on the back. But this is quite interesting and stimulating for me as well. She turns to Miss Sandy. Thank you, Miss Sandy, for standing by as a witness. Anytime, my queen. If there's anything you need, just let me know. I shall take my leave of you and go see if I can't get a little more rest. Very good, then. So Miss Sandy then leaves. Deanerys then takes William by the hand, and they return to their chambers, where they strip the clothes off, and she looks down, and I very well love this. And she wraps her hand right onto it. Oh my goodness. I still want you to just hold me, but I do love the feel of it throbbing in my hand. And when you get back from your swordsmanship skills, there may be something else I want. Well, you can have whatever I get as you want of me. I know, and you'll obey anything I command of you, even in my chambers. And so she then lovingly strokes him while giving him a very long kiss. They lay the bed together, and she allows him to stroke her as well on her beautiful flower, and they finally go to sleep again. The next morning, she and Daenerys and William woke up, and Daenerys seemed very happy that things went well, and that she should hopefully have no more problems with Daario, because he will be transferred somewhere else in the Marine Kingdom of Essos. Thank you, William, for doing what you had to do, and I approve, as I said, everything that has been done. Well, thank you, Daenerys, for allowing me to defend your honor as well as mine. So with that, they kiss for the longest time, and as they start to get dressed, she just seems to enjoy what pleasures that she sees in William's status. Always like, I don't know why, William, I just can't seem to keep my hands off you. And she lays a firm grip on him. Oh, wow. It's just so there. It's like as if it's asking me to grab it. Gee, Mary. I can't believe you would say that. Why, you don't like this? No, I do. I mean, you are a queen. You can do whatever you want. Yes, I can. And I know you won't forget that. No, I won't. Not while you got a firm grip on me. I would not want to piss you off. Good, then I guess I won't have to ever worry about you now, will I? No, I guess you won't. And so, while they play with each other, they kiss each other lovingly, and reluctantly, she lets go of William's status, and they get dressed and go to breakfast. After some time, she does have to take care of some business at the throne, and William knows that today is the day he has to head out. And so he goes before Daenerys, and she seems to be that serious, probably from the last meeting she had. Message about a scroll regarding some kind of faction movement. But William's not aware of this. Daenerys, may I make a request. I hope this is not a bad time. No, William, go ahead. I just had some news, something that I have to deal with alone. It's kingdom politics. Um, you'll eventually learn when you learn the lessons of our politics and everything. I understand. Um, I wanted to first say that I do appreciate and thank you so very, very much from the bottom of my heart for declaring me your suitor. And she starts smiling about this. And also for accepting my human custom of proposal of marriage to you. Well, William, you're very welcome, although that is a bit forward in the throne room. But that is okay, I will allow this. Continue. Well, I was wondering if since I am your suitor that you have declared me upon, and I have already gotten your permission to live in your world, since I cannot go back to my own, I've already made my pledge of allegiance to you, and I've also proposed to her, which you have accepted, my human custom of marriage proposal, and you have adopted my heraldry because I cannot take the throne, nor does my heraldry allow it, so that I will, when we are married, sit the right hand following in your stead. Have I, by any chance, proven myself to possibly holding some kind of occupational position in the Pyramid Palace? I was hoping that I had proven myself to you, that by now I would imagine you do trust me, or I wouldn't. And he thinks he chooses his words carefully so he don't get himself trouble with her eyebrows raised and waiting to see what he's going to say. That you would give me certain commands which I would follow. And she nods her head in approval the words he chose wisely, so not to refer to chambers. I do appreciate, William, your continuing to want to serve me. I find this very attractive in you. I would hope that you would understand that though I would not put you down as someone who is weak, but more of my heart caring for you, William, because you are one of a kind. There are no others like you, and you are not like any man of this world. I have been, with the wisdom of a priest, lord of my religious beliefs, of the faith of the gods of fire and ice, been informed that I should not underestimate you, because yes, you do have a strong heart and will, strong spirit, and this I greatly admire, William. But it was also my hope that you would understand that there may be certain positions that could be dangerous, because no one can trust just anybody in their own kingdom, let alone any other kingdom. I, on the other hand, always have to watch my back, and if it wasn't for certain guards I trust, the unsullied warriors I have, led by Greenworm, and Missandei, who always constantly keep their eyes open, I would probably be in no better position than you are, though you be human from another world. You do understand that I would not want to risk your life by putting you in an occupation that could be dangerous. Yes, I understand. Well, William, I know today is the day you have to take off, and I do wish you the best, and I will be looking forward to your return. Very well, I will accept the words you have spoken. And William kind of gets thinking that the only way he's going to prove himself is maybe if he gets the swordsmanship skills done, he may have to choose the latter, known as the right challenge, in order to prove that he does not want to be foreseen as a weak, low in stature, frail human. But he keeps this to himself. And so after he bows, he turns and starts to walk out. The guards then, of course, seeing that there is no other palace business, disappear to wherever it is they have to go to. Missandei, yes, Deanerys, would you later care to join me in the palace gardens? But first, I want to see William off. Very well then. And Missandei leaves with a smile and says, Daenerys is smiling like a teenage girl. She almost runs down the steps of the throne room William, wait up, please. Yes. And she puts her arms around me. I do love you, William. Don't think badly of me, because I choose not to give you enough position. I just don't want to lose you. You are very important to me. And as the Palace Visionary said, it is like a destiny, you being here. And I now see that and sense that you have come to terms with this. Yes, I have. And like I said, I would be honored to lead you to that which you desire. I know, William. And that's why I love you so very much. And they kiss for the longest time, her arms around his neck and his around her waist, hugging each other ever so closely. I do love you, William. And I love you too, Daenerys. I want you to be safe. I will think of you always, yes, but you must keep your mind around you. Though I would probably be pleased about what you might be thinking. You have to remember, you're not in your world anymore. And though we may not have advancements like you have told me that is in your world, nevertheless, as we say in our world, the blade cuts both ways and is still very sharp. And that is very good words of wisdom, and I shall bear that in mind. Very well then, William. And they kiss again. I will see you when you return. All right. And so he gets on his horse. Tyrion then looks over towards Daenerys. Don't worry, I'll make sure he's not in trouble. I see he's got the medallion, so I'll let everybody else know, those that are female, that he is not available. She nods in agreement and watches as they ride off.